Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Yeah, I'm live right now. Let's see where we go tonight. Let's see where we go tonight. Here talking about finances and how to move to Ghana during financial hardship, how to move to Ghana during financial prosperity. A lot of times we think that we need all our ducks aligned in order. And what we start to realize is that sometimes we're more organized than we think. We are more organized than we think. We have more structure going than we believe that we have. And with that structure, we start to realize that our next goals, our next plans, our next ideas are closer to fruition than we think. And I bring up this meme pretty often. It's a meme where there's two guys digging for diamonds. It's vertical, it's horizontal. It's horizontal. So they're both going like left to right. I'm sure I have it in my videos somewhere, in my notes somewhere. Maybe I'll see if I can bring it up for you all. But it's two guys digging for diamonds. And one guy gives up just before his breakthrough. Like, this guy totally gave up. He didn't take a break. He didn't sit down. He totally gave up. And it was like, did he even know how close his breakthrough was? His or her breakthrough. But in this case, it's a guy. And I wonder how many people have given up close to their breakthrough. And I wonder how many people walked away. I wonder how many people have walked away, not in terms of giving up, but in terms of strategic retreat. This is the video I wanted. This is the picture I was talking about. I know y'all can't see me with this, but this is just the meme that I'm thinking about. I wonder how many people because this dude right here, I don't know if y'all can see it. I don't know if y'all can see my cursor, but the guy on the top, I will have to look this way, but I'm not. Let me turn it this way so it can look the way I'm really looking. All right. So if you look, the guy on the top, he's still far away. It's easy to look at the guy on the bottom and says that he just quit before his breakthrough. But we don't know how far away he was when he got tired. And if you're a lady out there, maybe you want to say she. We don't know how far away that person was when they started getting tired. Maybe they was getting tired all the way back here. Imagine y'all can see where I'm at. Maybe he started getting tired even before where the guy on the top. The guy on the top still look aggressive. He's still like he's going for his goals. You don't know how hard that rock is. You don't know how much further he has to go. So for goals that you have, how far are you away from your goals? Number one, that maybe you're turning away and disappearing before your breakthrough. And how many of you, maybe you've been going down the wrong path in the first place. And these are things that I often think about. I think about how often maybe me, maybe someone else, excuse me, I got the camera together the way I like it, but the hardest thing about being in 4K, I see all the wrinkles when I'm proud. I still dealing with my, that I'm aging, even though I'm still young. It's crazy. These are the questions that I have that I want you all to ask yourself. How do you know the difference when it's time to take a strategic rest? When it's time to regroup? And how do you know when it's time to call it quits. What's the difference? What's the difference? These are the questions that we have to ask ourselves sometimes. In a world where everybody just see the moment, everybody just see your current situation. They don't necessarily think about your history all the time. I don't think people think about history all the time. All right, that's a little better to me. I don't know. Matter of fact, I'm on the wrong. By now I should have the this shows me I haven't been going live long enough if I'm still, adjusting lights and stuff like that. So sorry about that, y'all. This lets me know that I haven't been going live. My light went out. Yeah. I purchased the light to go on the back of it's supposed to be on right there. It was on when I started the live. You see that it went out. Sometimes when you buy things from these places, man, they be expensive. In Ghana money, they be expensive, but they don't be working like that. So these are the things that we have to think about sometimes. A lot of people don't know, and it's not easy. Don't be down on yourself. It's not common to give up on something when you're right before your breakthrough, and it's not common to still be pushing, trying to fix something long after it's dead. A lot of people quit when they lost because they didn't know how to quit when they were ahead. I don't like the word quit, but they didn't know how to accept victory when they were ahead. So revisionist history will make it look like they quit when they lost, but they really won a long time ago. So it's different areas and different arenas in your life that you may want to think about it. How difficult are you on yourself? Are you easy on yourself? Are you too relaxed on yourself? Are you greater than you realize? Do you let other people's opinion of you affect you? A lot of people be hating. Sometimes they telling the truth. What I'm trying to challenge people to do is to think more multi-dimensional. I finished the writing. I haven't filmed the video yet, but I'm trying to train people to look at things more holistically. I want to help with what psychologists call cognitive flexibility and not binary thinking. Let me explain. Binary thinking is yes or no, this or that, here or there. Cognitive flexibility is both and. It's having options. A lot of you are greater than what you think. And let me take it a step further. A lot of you are great and don't know it because you haven't been able to exercise your greatness because they tell you yes or no, not both and. I deal with a lot of binary thinkers. I deal with a lot of people while I'm out here on the continent, when I'm out here in Ghana, who find it hard to be multi-dimensional thinkers. For us or against us. Yes, you can. No, you can't. Do this or do that. But what people don't understand is that maybe I can do both. Maybe you should be doing both. So again, there may be situations where you think you failed, where you had to, I don't want to say confine, when you had to bend, confine, I guess, maybe. When you may not have necessarily been wrong. You just wasn't given enough options, or you didn't enforce your boundaries to say, I have options. There's nothing wrong with acknowledging. There's nothing wrong with acknowledging and taking advantage of your options. I remember one time I went to a career day and I was speaking, I was saying to the children, you know, find out who you are. I think I was saying create who you are, create who you are. And the person was like, and then another speaker came up right after me, was like, yeah, he said it so snoopy. He looked right at me when he said, how can somebody create who they are and they don't know anything? You have to find who you are. And then everybody looked at me. And I'm surprised I even got a moment to respond. I said, everybody's different. Why can't people do both? Why it has to be this or that? Some people want to create who they are. They say, oh, I see that. I like that. Let me create that. Maybe that's finding who you are. But certain people, they have an idea in their mind on what they like and what they don't like, and they want to build that life. And we are the architects of our lives. You are the architect of your life. I'm the architect of my life. And there's nothing wrong with that. You will find yourself on this continent where people try to box you in. And if you think outside of the box, sometimes people get so, that's one of the main challenges that I've dealt with in Ghana. The creativity is lacking. And I know a lot of people are gonna be upset that if they hear that I say this. The creativity is lacking. And if you try to tell somebody something different that's not cultural or not standard, or if you find people in a routine too long, or they see you in a routine too long and you throw off the routine, I promise you, I don't see this in America. Out here, if you try to switch something up or do something creative or different, people out here start glitching. They start glitching. You see them glitching. I hate to do it like that, but I've seen people just literally like not twitching, not catching seizures or anything, but you see them when you challenge them to think outside the box. Yeah, glitch. I remember my youngest daughter. I have two daughters. I remember my youngest daughter. For those who don't know, I'm divorced, and you know, that kind of stuff. And my ex-wife's pastor, my daughter thought that it was my father. Thought it was my father, and I was grandfather. And I remember the first time we were at the park, and my daughter was swinging on the swings, and my father called me, and I put my father, who passed away in 2019, on the phone with her, and she thought it was her, the grandpa that she knew. But when I told her for the first time, no, that guy, he's not your grandfather, because he wasn't her grandfather. He wasn't my mother. He wasn't her mother's mother. He wasn't my father's. He wasn't my father. That it was someone else. And she glitched. She was like, it was like, that was one of the first times I really saw a person glitch like that. Because it was like everything she knew, it was like, oh, he's telling me something different than I always thought I knew. But out here, I never ran into, maybe I just never told anybody and it clicked, or just threw them off. Like I keep harping on it. You will see people glitch out here. I don't know a better word for it. You will see people glitch out here. When you try to think outside the box or say something that you're not used to. Think of, and this is the last comment I'll give on it. Think about maybe when you was in elementary school, you know, if you're Ghanaian JSS, and that weird kid mixed some weird food together, or the first time you heard a weird mixture of food. Think that way. You be like, you eat mayonnaise with you put mayonnaise on your French fries. Let's say something like that, and the person like, ew. Then one day maybe you tried it. You come out here, man, and you'll say something out the box thinking. It's like, and it's not wild and crazy to you. It's not wild and crazy to you. But just say it out here and it'd just be something different. They'd be like, no. I remember out here, I started talking about computer labs. One thing that you'll find out too is people here will shut down your ideas, and then them same people will do the ideas, not necessarily stealing your ideas, but they'll realize the error in their ways and go back around and do them later. I've saw that a lot. So it was, and then they'll turn around and not give you credit for it. I remember one time I was like, I want to build a computer lab. I really want to get into, I want to build a computer lab, and I want to get into, I think people here need to get into things like graphic design, internet marketing, you know, things like that. And the person said, oh, let's stick to the traditional ways of doing things. Seamstress, carpentry, electrician, you know, that kind of stuff. Then 2 years later, oh, we found a funder and we're going to build a computer lab. You know, same person. I swear to God, cross them out, sticking in them. Same person now, building a computer lab. But when I said it 2-3 years prior, no, let's stick to the traditional. These are the things that you have to deal with. Even being somebody who's groundbreaking like me, I have to listen to ideas that were shut down 2-3 years ago, as in dismissed, to now seeing them doing it and be like, oh, we did this on our own. And then be like, no, you didn't. These are ideas that I gave you years ago. I've sat down with people and they've taken notes. I've given them advice and they've taken notes, and they turn back around and be like, oh, Rashad never helped me at all. And they did everything that they take notes on. These are some of the things that you got to deal with. That's why a lot of FBA talkers be like, yo, that's why FBAs be talking like how they are. I'm FBA if anybody don't know. These are things that, you know, creativity is a blessing that you don't really realize until you get to the continent. These are some of the things that you don't really realize. We take these things for granted. Stop taking your creativity stop taking your creativity for granted. At the moment, I can't remember I've been trying to remember this term since we started this live, started talking about this. The term that I'm looking for is called, let's see if I can think of it right now. Creative thinking. I don't know if it's called creative thinking or not. What is it called, audience out there? What is it called when somebody like, when people are so conformed that they can't, constructive thinking. That's the word. A lot of people lack constructive thinking out here. They're not taught to be constructive thinkers. And there's people, they're good at implementing things, but there's certain people here who act like they're visionaries. And I know them well enough to know that you're not a visionary, you're a copycat. Somebody told you that first. You're not a copycat. Somebody told you that first. I've decided that I want to get used to using my left again. Here, the culture is you're supposed to use your right, but I like being ambidextrous. So again, these are the things that I try to ask people. How can you take your creativity and bring them to a country, bring them to a community where most of the people who look like you are yes men or servants. This is something that we also got to talk about. Ghana is still a monarchy. Yes, Ghana is a democracy. This current democracy started in 1992 under Rollins, under President Rollins and the current government in DC. The original coups that happened, I believe that was 1979 and 1981, and the current fourth constitution of Ghana was put in 1992, I believe. I could have done a better job at learning Ghanaian political history, but you know me. I've been here spiritually minded. I've been here on a spiritual journey. That's how I spent my time in Ghana, to be honest with you. I've got some worldly accolades, but what I know that the Most High, maybe I could bring this down slightly. I think bringing this down slightly might work. Forgive me if I'm messing up the camera, sorry. I don't have the thing set up properly. But what I was saying is, like, what I learned and what I'm trying to continue to embody and also appreciate, I'm still trying to see the vision of how it's going to manifest in my next stage in life. Because I'm going into a new arc, y'all. I feel it. I'm in a new arc in my life. This is like the prelude. This is the prelude of previous arcs. A lot of physicalness comes and goes. Here, people Indian give. Remember the term Indian give? They Indian give here. I've invested so much on my spiritual, my emotional, my mental, my psychological journey. Physical, material wealth, and even at a certain degree when it was more high, the ego, my ego died about 2 years ago. My ego died about 2 years ago. I think 2023 sometime was the last time I really had a real ego. And I want to say, you know, sometime during that course. And also, I've really from day one invested in my spiritual journey. I've invested in the spiritual journey. I've actually neglected the physical realm. Because what I learned here, and this is a key, this is something important that you want to understand about your finances. People Indian give here. I don't know if you remember the term. I don't know if y'all remember the term Indian give. They give, then they take away. They give, then they take away. Anything you receive here that you don't use up while you have it, someone will try to grab it back. Remember no backsies? Indian givers. It's a lot of Indian giving here. People always trying to walk something back. When you lose value and when people perceive that you lose value, whatever they give you, they try to take back. But with spirit, with embodiment, with mental health, self-care, spiritual, emotional, psychological health, they can't take that back. So while you build your finances here, don't overinvest. Invest somewhere where they can't take it back. Now, where I'm at on my journey and where you may have to find yourself on your journey is how to appreciate the unseen. It's easy to appreciate the land that you walk on, whether it's leased or owned. If it's leased, it's not owned. A lot of people got even 99 year leases. To me, that's not generational wealth. Yes, you feel safe and you feel good knowing that you have a physical structure if you built a home. Yes, having your cars. Yes, having your wealth. But remember what I just said a few minutes ago, they Indian give here. So it's only temporary. Maybe it's your son that they take it away from. Maybe it's your grandchildren that they take it away from. And that's if you're lucky in your lifetime. That's if you're lucky in your lifetime, because they snatch things away in their life in these lifetimes. And it's a constant practice because you get warned by it all the time. It's part of the culture, unfortunately. So when you invest your finances, make sure you have an expectation that even if it's land, even if it's something that you think is permanent, it's not permanent. It's not permanent unless you get real paperwork to say it's permanent. And people do not really give away those freehold titles and freehold lands. That's very, very difficult to get. Whether it's you, whether it's your children, whether it's your grandchildren, somebody's going to try to take that back. There's been too many small scale promises that I've received that people try to walk back. And there are too many big things that I've received that people try to walk back. Depending on who you talk to, your spiritual journey, your spiritual awareness is one of the most important things, if not the most important thing that you can lean on. Because unfortunately, organized religion replaced spirituality. So, how do I say it properly? When people do traditions with you, it's just a formality. It's just a formality. For the most part, there are people who, but for the most part, it's a formality. Where is your spiritual soundness to know what to take serious and what not to take serious? You don't want to walk on your tippy toes. I said this a real long time ago in this live. Ghana, even though it's a democracy on paper, on the ground, it's still a monarchy. It's still a hierarchy. It's not a merit-based system. There's a constant war, unspoken war, soft war between chieftaincy, monarchy, and democracy. But the culture still follows a monarchy. Ghana is pay to play. And if you don't have money to pay to play, you have to serve. If you don't have money to pay to play and you refuse to serve, you're isolated. Because Ghana is a safe country. They won't kill you. If they, Ghana, I don't know, the safest places always have the worst atrocities in their history. And that goes for many countries. Some people say that about Rwanda. Some people say that about, a lot of different places. Let's just put it that way. I don't want to be on no country hit list. So these are things that you have to understand on the ground. A lot of people, a lot of financially sound and a lot of financially savvy people, they've lost everything that they came with or everything that was willing to invest, not because they didn't make sound moves, but because when their usefulness was done, when the people that they connected with felt that their usefulness was done, they just kept everything they got and they disregarded that person. One of the blessed things I have with my chieftaincy is like a title that I would have been open to. I didn't think I deserved it. Sorry. I didn't think I deserved it, but I was open to receiving it because I didn't know, I believed in more what I could do, but I'm glad that they didn't give to me. I'm glad I didn't get a developmental title. The issue with developmental titles is that, and they explained this to me. One person explained it to me, and I'm grateful for that. Unlike other people, when somebody give me good information, I don't mind citing them or quoting them about it or giving them that recognition, is that with developmental titles, it's only as valuable as you continue development. If you stop development and somebody comes along who does more development, they replace you. Or at best, they'll put that person alongside you as long as they think that by giving that person development crown, that'll keep them developing. And it kind of like, it's a rotation. It's like a rotation. It's like, all right, let's say I do some development. They crown me for doing development. Let's say I don't want to develop no more. They take the crown from me. Technically, they won't tell you they take the crown from you, but okay, we'll find somebody else to continue the development. And that was put in place in the Ashanti, in Kumasi and the Ashanti region first. They're the ones who came up with those developmental titles. And at the end of the day, people can change laws, they can change and do what they want to do. But the most important thing is to realize in your heart, in your spirit, in your mind, what you've accomplished. A lot of people, I'm saying this for like the third time in this live, a lot of you have accomplished so much. If you really understood what you've, not just bad words like endured or persevered through, if you actually realize what you have accomplished, you will see that you were actually a great person. Sometimes it may take you to compare yourself with someone else, other people. I don't believe in comparing yourself to 1, 2, 3, 4 people. I believe that maybe you have to compare yourself amongst the masses. You have to find a way to say, okay, not this one person, not this second person, not this third person, not these immediate people in my community. Amongst the masses, how do I stack up in this particular arena? And if you really took an evaluation, a lot of people with low self-esteem, a lot of people who don't think they don't have a legacy, a lot of people who don't really understand what they have to stand on, they'll start to realize that they really are standing on more than they think. They'll really start to realize, you'll really start to realize that you've accomplished more than you think. And once you realize that you've accomplished more than you think, you'll probably start figuring out that you can accomplish more. One of my greatest gifts is I don't let people take credit from me. When I say take credit from me, meaning people will around the world, people will try to downplay you. People will try to downplay you. You got the haters trying to sabotage you. You got people trying to ignore what you've done, what you've accomplished, how strong you've been, how successful you've been, how easy you've done things. And they're trying to make you feel like something's wrong with you. No, it's something wrong with you. What are you grading yourself on? What are you grading yourself on? How are you grading yourself? Are you grading yourself fairly? Are you grading yourself through your own lens, through your own proper lens? Because I promise you, you're in a world of haters. You're in a world of jealous people. You're in a world of blind people. You're in a world where you're not even on another level. You're in another universe. And people won't understand you. And I know these are different things to hear. But sometimes you got to accept when you're greater than you even acknowledge, that you're even aware of. And some people only grade your worth based on their lives, your affection on their lives, on what they want you to do. Just because you don't do what another person wants you to do doesn't mean something's wrong with you. These are the things that we have to constantly remind ourselves, because it'll beat you down. It'll beat you down. You have people tell you you don't have good ideas and then incorporate your ideas and then be like, oh, you didn't do it. You say I want to do A, you say I want to do A, B, and C. They'll tell you A, B, and C is not a good idea. Then go back around and do A, B, and C 2 years later and be like, oh, what did you do? Use the person who said you can't do it. I can't do it. It wasn't a good idea. Oh, I don't remember that. That's a real reality here. When you, a lot of times, you know, sometimes, you know, being FBA myself, I do believe FBA is the creative wing of the African diaspora. Because I don't really see that level of creativity the way that I was taught as a child. It's like when people go to jail and you hear stories about people in jail, they know how to turn potatoes into liquor, or they know how to have ingenuity. Well, sometimes you can be creative and have ingenuity because you have limited resources. Those are the things that, Peggy, how are you? How are you? Long time, long time, long time. I think it's a long time because of me. Sometimes you have to be creative when you're at your lack. You ever heard somebody speak and say that when you're at your worst, when you hit rock bottom, when you're at your worst, that's when you find yourself being most creative? But then when you're at your best, that's when you get the most lazy. That's when you get the most complacent. Would you rather be complacent or creative? Remember what I said before, it's not this or that, either or, it's both and. How do we find ourselves to be people who are both creative and successful, and to continue to climb up the ladder, continue to climb up the ladder? These are the things that we need to start thinking about and actively challenging our minds and having that real breakthrough. We really have to start having breakthroughs in our minds and our realities while we're still young. Hey, I'm in a world now where I believe if you was born in the 70s and 80s, you know, expect to see 90, expect to see 100. We're not living in, obviously you see now, we're not living in a world where people dying off in their 60s anymore. You know, some people, obviously we all know people who passed away. You know, we know people who passed away, you know, in their teens and 20s. But generally speaking, we're not in this world where people are passing away in their 60s anymore. Now we're starting to see that people ain't really passing away in their 70s no more. You're starting to see people hit 80 regularly now. People are hitting 80 now. So if you was born in the 70s, if you was born in the 80s, it's realistic to expect to hit 100. It's realistic. You need to start thinking minimum 90. When you see a 70-year-old now, that's how you're going to be looking, moving, feeling, acting in your 80s. When you see somebody in their 80s now, somebody in their low 90s now, that's how you're going to be looking when you're in your 90s going into your 100s. You will see 100. Now, my father passed away at 77. He passed away from lung cancer. He quit smoking in his 50s. So if you're smoking, you know, I don't know when you started smoking. If you don't stop smoking until you in your 50s, you pass away at lung cancer at 77, you know, maybe if you kept smoking, you wouldn't have made it to 60. So I get it. You know, no, not everybody who hear me speak on this will make it to 90. Don't think that maybe I won't make it to 90. Don't be that person. But expect to see 90 minimum. Don't be surprised when you're 100. Don't be surprised when you're in your 80s and you're looking like your grandma when she was 60, 70. Or you're looking like your mom when she was 60, 70, and here you are feeling that way in your 80s. I got certain aches and pains now. I'm like, yo, one day when I go back to the United States, I'm gonna start seeing the doctors and I'm gonna try to get these fixed. And then another part of me is saying, oh, should I wait to see where medical to see where medical advancement goes. Can I get it fixed better if I wait longer? These are things that I talk to myself about because I'm 45, y'all, but I know I'm going to be well into my 90s. I've been openly petitioning the ancestors and the spirits for me to go into my hundreds, but I feel confident in my bones. I feel confident that I'm going to see 90. I feel confident I'm just hitting the halfway point in my life. Wrinkles, brows and all. I've been stressed out. I just started aging last year. I just started feeling old I just started looking a little older last year. I read some article that said 44 is when most men, they said 44, 70, and I don't know what I can't remember what the younger ones is, when men hit kind of start hitting different layers of aging in their life. I swear 42, 43, I wasn't self-conscious about wrinkles and stuff. I do good with the grades. I don't really have grades, but I do have some patches. But I'm gonna see 90. Back to the real focus of it. And I believe if you was born in the 70s and you was born in the 80s, you're going to see 90. Everybody walk their own paths. You walking around here at 300 pounds, lose that weight, because you might be adding, you're not going to just be adding 10, 20 years to your life. You might mess around and add 30, 40 years to your life. Lose that weight. So you don't die from a heart attack, so you don't die from blood pressure, diabetes. The only real ailment I have is asthma. How would that factor itself in? Those are things that I think about. I have some like ailments, like I've been spraining my ankle. I sprained my ankle about a dozen times, both my ankles about a dozen times in my life. My ankles hurt sometimes. I had knee surgery once. How would I deal with those aches and pains? I always say one day, one season in my life, I'm really going to have to, I started already a little bit last year, but I'm like, I really want to work on my lower body. I really want to work on lower body strength because I don't want to be limping. I don't want to be all, fragile legged when I'm 70, 80, 90. I'm going to have to really start working on my physical fitness for my lower body, my entire body, but really my lower body. So if you're in your 40s and your 50s now, your 30s, understand that you got another 40, 50, 60 years on this earth. You know how they say people going to outlive their Social Security, people outliving their retirement funds and all that stuff because people are living longer. I cited in my book, Repatriation Tips and Strategies for Moving to the African Continent. It's within my arm's reach, but I don't really want to point to it. I don't really want to grab it. It's the one right here that I'm pointing at. They said by 2050, the average life expectancy is going to be 85. I cited a Stanford, and the link for that is in a profile, is in the description. The link to that Repatriation, How to Move to Africa book. Beautiful book. My dual citizenship book is excellent too. I'm proud of myself. The Stanford University professor said, there are people right now on this earth who are going to live to see 200 years old. In the eastern region of Ghana, they say a lady who just passed away at 160. I know if you go on Google or you go to ChatGPT, they're going to tell you it's a European lady, the oldest person in the world, at 112. In Ghana, they're saying a lady just passed away who was 160. Do I think that there's people over age of 112 on the African continent right now? I'm 1,000,000% sure. I have no evidence. I ain't read it nowhere. I ain't meet the person, but I'm sure because I see a lot of 90-year-olds who still live it. So I have a neighbor who live right here, 90-something years old, still gardening. So you telling me that there's not anyone older than her? You telling me that there's no one anywhere in the world that's more than 15 years older than her? What, 112? That would be, the lady's like 20 years older than her. That may sound like a lot. Love your life. People, usually when I talk about life expectancy and living longer, a lot of people turn away because living longer automatically brings up death. And then when they're afraid to die, so they don't want to hear that. These talks are deep, y'all. I'm always going to have these deep talks. I want to build my tribe and our people to have these deep thoughts. If anything I'm saying is resonating with you, please let me know. Send some emojis. Say something in the comment section. I am putting together, I am trying to raise some money for a personal project. Email me if you're interested in supporting. The only way I can receive money right now is through the Remitly app. The link for that is in my profile, but I have to let you know how to send that. But generally speaking, a lot of the talks that I have, especially on these lives, I want to start putting together like videos. I have everything ready. I'm going to be starting to put together videos when I have like a more formal breakdown and they're scripted and they're going to be all nice in presentation. I have, you know, research. I have whiteboards that I'll be writing, doing lessons on whiteboards. But when I do these lives, these are the times when I'm going to be talking about real, like, deep, intense topics. I am using a camera and the battery dies sometimes. So if the battery ever dies, you ever see like the color screen, like the old school television goes off, you'll still be able to hear my voice and I'll just switch out the battery. When we talk about finances, financial literacy, making money in Ghana, and all these different topics that people put up just because they want to go viral on YouTube. I mean, I want to go viral on YouTube too. I mean, but sometimes we gotta cut through the sensationalism. They're not really telling you that. How do I say this properly? You still have to be in control of your money. And there's a war for your resources. And people do not want you to succeed unless they can piggyback off of you. They won't let you go your own way and do your own thing. Here, sabotage is real. I don't know, maybe, you know, I'm from Harlem. Let me say I'm from New York. I think saying I'm from New York is a better introduction to this scenario. I remember the movie Belly. When DMX had met the man, well, when DMX had his people up in Ohio. I say Harlem because we got ties to Ohio. But when DMX had his people out in Ohio and the dude out eating a banana, the dude from Menace, came from Menace, eating a banana, it was like, I don't like that at all. Somebody gotta drop a dime on him. I understand that it was money warfare, but I didn't know sabotage was so real out here. Sabotage is active in Ghana. Sabotage is in the playbook. Now, maybe I'm just different. Sabotage is supposed to be done in competitiveness. I can understand, like, if you competing in business, there's forms of sabotage. But I never realized as much sabotage through just hate. I'm not, maybe I'm different. I could be wrong on that, but I never experienced sabotage before. I guess I've had, but it to me, it's always been an individual trait. Let's put it that way. It's been an individual trait. This is the first time where that's a common practice, where it's in the everyday playbook. I hear people just say, yo, what if somebody sabotaged them? And I just be like, oh, and that shit is like, oh. I'm thinking about a private story that I can't really share, but somebody was like, what if somebody should sabotage? And I was like taken aback. I was like, huh? And they looked at me and they could tell instantly, like, oh, he's not from that school. I'm not from that school. Not from that school. One of my biggest blessings is that I'm really not a jealous person. Even if I could be jealous in a relationship, that's one thing. I can have some jealousy, little jealousy traits. That's one thing. But in terms of being jealous of another person, another man, just off merit or just off structure, anything like that, just because of what that person has, no, that's not me at all. And I think I've been gifted a lot because I don't get jealous of other people. That's just not a trait of mine. Thank God. The jealousy is poisonous. Any questions, any comments? Any questions, any comments? You know, I know how to get people up in here, but I already clicked. I don't want to say clickbait. I already succumbed to the algorithm enough with my shorts. I don't consider myself African American. Since I started coming to Ghana in 2020, I stopped using the label African American. I'm sorry, not 2020, 2015. So I haven't identified as African American over 10 years. And now I identify as FBA. I just don't hate Africans and Caribbeans like the stereotypical FBA does. They make it sound like to be FBA, you have to hate Africans and Caribbeans. I acknowledge what goes on in America because everything that they say is right. They be trying to replace and they be trying to use they be putting these people in high places when they're not the majority. So I get it. I get it. I just choose not to make them my enemies. Obviously. You can see that about me. But everybody succumbs with identity. Like for the YouTube algorithm, I put African American king, African diasporic, African American king. The only reason I use the word African American because that's what the YouTube algorithm responds to. But I don't identify as that. African American is Ghanaian American, Nigerian American, Kenyan American, Zambia American. You know, that's African American. I'm Black American. I'm foundational Black. Barack Obama is not the first Black president. But yes, Barack Obama is the first African-American president. Like, isn't that crazy? Through the whole 80s, you want an African-American president. When you finally get one, you realize that the people who identified as African-American that whole time was never African-American. And it's powerful. It's actually really powerful. It's actually really powerful. So you got what you prayed for. You just didn't realize you was praying for something that you wasn't. How powerful is that? How ironic is that? All the people who prayed for a Black president, you ain't really get a Black president. You got an African-American president, but you didn't get a Black president. That's a whole nother conversation. I don't really want to touch that one today. Any comments, any questions? Any topics you want me to discuss? I mean, I'm not as well versed. I think, I'm ready to, how do I say it? Oh, Antoine, what's up, Mr. Morris? Please, can you send me an email right now? I'll send you the information. Yeah, send me if you send me an email, the first thing you could do right now, Antoine, and thank you for the membership, brother. I'm gonna hook the membership section up. What I really have to do right now is I'm typing in my email address. What I really have to do right now is just cut the videos. You see my studio is set up. This is the best my studio is going to get right now. You know, the little bright light here, this is just some lighting thing, but this is the best that my studio is going to get. And I have no excuse on doing the long form videos. And then I want to do lives for the talks. And I'm going to get back to the talk in a minute. All right, so that's my email address. Email me. You can click the link in my profile that says Remitly. And with that link, you can sign up for Remitly. And then you can use the, then I'll send you the information via email. I can't accept Cash App anymore. I guess Cash App started to realize that I was moving out of Ghana. So they temporarily disconnected my Cash App account because you're not supposed to use Cash App overseas. You're supposed to only use it in the United States. So it's not going to be until I return home that I'll be able to use Cash App. And I'm fine with it. Because I understand where they're coming from. It was like, when you're able to verify your account, and I can't verify my account until I come back to Cash App. So if you send anything to Cash App, it won't come up. So Anton, also, is there anything you want me to discuss right now? Anything that I said that resonated with you? Is there anything that I said that resonated with you that you want me to speak more of? That's also something else that I'm trying to gather some resources for you. Again, I can continue to talk, which I'm fine with, but for the people who are in the room, I really want to give y'all an opportunity to kind of I really want to give y'all an opportunity to kind of direct where we're speaking with. It's easy to go live like this, and I'm happy about that, but I also want to give long form videos where they're more structured. All right, I haven't seen any chats in a minute, so. Okay, and you can also click that link. And if you click that link, clicking that link right there, that will send you straight to the Remitly app. And then once you register for Remitly, I'll send you the contact information. Oh, cool. Definitely. And again, I was watching just to give you an update, because you're a channel member. You're a channel member. So I want you to be aware of where the channel is going. I'm setting up all the backlinks, and that's almost done. Even today, I spent about 30, 45 minutes, an hour. I'm starting the newsletter. Any day this week. I have to travel to Accra on Tuesday, but any day this week, the newsletter is going to start. So everything from all the links, some of affiliate links, some of to my resources, all the links are set up in the description. As you see, they're all there for a reason. Every one of them is there for a reason. I'm gonna have to take the Cash App one off, but everything is there for a reason. What I've learned, since this is about finance, what I've learned is that I left so much money off the table over the last 10 years. Because I was so spirit-led and so passion-driven that I neglected to be a little bit more worldly. I'm a spiritualist. I was Christian for a short time. I was raised as a spiritualist. Then I went over to Christianity, and then I came back to spiritualism. During my time in Christianity, I had a great pastor with a whole lot of game, man. He used to give us great game. And he used to be a runner's number in the Bronx, and then he gave his life to Christ, and he became a pastor. He became an amazing pastor. He passed away, ironically, about 3 days before my father passed away. But he used to say, "Don't be so heavenly minded that you're no earthly good." And I think I was a victim of being so spirit led, so motivated, so driven, so passion related, that I never built the right foundation. So now this go around 2025, we're about to be in June 2025, and I just been building the foundation the whole 2025. And then I've been praying, and I'm sure this is what it's going to be, that organically, when I get that real passion back, the foundation will have already be built. So then when I start going on these real passion driven runs and seasons, the foundation is built. For example, I wanted to set up Google ads on my website. I was doing the training. It was like, just set up Google ads. You never know. It could be $5 a month you get, $3 a month you get, $50 a month you get, but it'll add up. And then when I went to register for the Google ads, it said this registration is incomplete, because it showed that I tried to register for it back in 2020. Now, it took me only about 5 minutes to finish the registration, but that means I could have been running Google ads on my websites for the last 5 years. Like, come on, Rashad. You know, I was just like, dang, like, look how much I was leaving on the table. You know, look how long ago I could have had memberships. So, one of the things that behind the scenes that I had to make sure I do was set the right foundation. So when I really get passion led and spirit led, I don't have to worry about leaving so much on the table. So So thank you for that, for the donation, and thank you for being a channel member. And remember, channel members get extra privileges. So it's really up to you to ask questions and to utilize it properly. And very soon I'll be able to flood information in there. I did a good live last week, and I was talking about the fall of the American dollar, the rise of the Ghana CD, and when the American dollar falls, you got to find out what's rising. I was talking about Bitcoin. The American dollar dropped another one Ghana CD, and when I tried to edit the video to the core part that I wanted everybody to hear, and I tried to export it, the sound quality was bad because I'm learning a new editing method. I'm like, dag, all this stuff is taking a long time. But when I get it right, it's going to be a blessing to so many people, including you. So thank you for that. Let me redirect back to just some more of these things that I learned in Ghana. Again, Ghana's a monarchy. It's not a democracy. It is a democracy. Let me not disrespect the government. Forgive me. It's a democracy on a governmental level, but culturally, it's still a monarchy. And you have to pay to play. If you don't pay, then you're expected to be subservient. If you don't pay and you're not subservient, that's when you get attacked. And a lot of times you have these infrastructures and you have these, whether it's chieftaincy or even when diasporans come and get accustomed to how things work here, it's hard to come up if you're not paying. Merit, it's not a merit-based society. It is not a merit-based society. Ideally, you will want it to be a merit-based society. It is not a merit-based society. Some people will tell you it's a merit-based society. It is not a merit-based society. Unfortunately. 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 I'm answering a message from my brother Anton. Anton, I just got your email. These are things that when we talk about long-term stays, when we talk about really like how to get our foot in the door, these are things that we got to figure out, child. These are things we have to figure out. Do you have the stamina? Do you have the endurance? Do you have the desire? Should you have the desire? Dang, the dollar dropped to 1030. The dollar is crashing in Ghana. The dollar is crashing in Ghana. The dollar has officially dropped more than 33%. It's insane. The dollar has officially dropped 33%. The dollar at the beginning of April, around the beginning of April, was still was about 1580. The dollar is now 1030. A lot of people who price in dollars and a lot of people who forgive me. I'm coming, y'all. I'm coming. Forgive me, I'm typing something important. And that's a lot of money. In the in the live, I discussed somebody, and the person sent the 250. I discussed how it going from 14 something to 12 something. I lost 20. I lost $19.32. How much more now that it's at 1030? I don't really want to go into if anybody's in the room, do y'all hear the music? Is the music flowing? Is the music, can y'all hear the music in the background? Do I want to bring up my do I want to change scenes? I don't even know if I want to change scenes. Oh boy. Can you change scenes, man? Hold on. Let's see what a dollar is. Excuse me, y'all. It's also strange that when I go live a lot, my asthma starts to flare up. Why is on the app the dollar's at 1030? They probably lost some money before. Hold on, y'all. This is what we're going to talk about for a little bit. Hold on, I'm getting the all right, let me open that up. This is a problem, y'all. For people who live off dollars, who wasn't managing their money right, this is a problem. Look at that slope. This is even more telling. So this started this month. This is crazy. April 25th, 1526. And it was higher than that. You see where it was in October. But October, it jumped up when the diaspora came for the citizenship. I'll be back in a second. All right, y'all, I'm back. Sorry, yeah, my asthma's been bothering me. So, all right. Let's bring this back over here now. I have a I don't know if I got a computer 6 months ago, does that mean I have a new computer still? But I got a computer about 6 months ago, and it's really like been like such a blessing. Really been like a real blessing. I don't know. I'm messing with this stuff right here. We're gonna get into the CD talk in a minute. Hey, I'm a perfectionist, y'all. This is why it take me so long to do some things all the time too, because this is like really bothering me that I moved the. Let me just hit the back button until it get correct. All right, we'll leave it right there. So look how much the dollar had dropped. Look how much the dollar has dropped. In May, the dollar, let's say the dollar started to drop April 24th, we would say, let's say April 24th, April 25th. It was at 15 Ghana cedis to 15.26 Ghana cedis. Today is at 11.03. The reality, that's about 30%. That's 33%. Imagine living somewhere and the value of your money dropped 33%. Imagine if you had $10 and in a month that $10 was only worth $6.66. Now, what I tell Americans is your real goal, you need to make more money. When I wrote Repatriation in 2022, when I published Repatriation, Tips and Strategies for Moving to the African Continent, you see it on the right side. It's on the right side of the screen. The Ghana CD was only $9. What's scary is this current president, when he was in office, the CD was as low as $5 American, and that was considered a lot during that time. And he was campaigning to see if we can get it back to 1-to-1. So did you invest your money wisely when it was 15? This is a combination of the decline of the American dollar right now, and also a Ghanaian president who are putting Ghanaians first. And some of that is good. That's me being neutral. It was also said that the last president had a more international marketing mind. He wanted to make the dollar more flexible in Ghana to garner international, not attention, but favor. And that's including dual citizenship for the African diaspora. So, like, we can't have it every way that we want. Remember what I keep saying to people. We can't say this or that, yes or no, right or wrong. We have to start thinking more in terms of both and thinking. There's advantages and disadvantages. So a lot of people continue to criticize the former president for wanting to westernize things so much. But these are the same people, Americans, diasporans in Ghana, who were getting citizenship, who was welcomed by that president. You took down with Babylon. Now we got a president in who I like. I like Mahama. Mahama was president when I first started coming to Ghana in 2015. I don't have any political affiliation. You know, I'm learning. I like what he did with cholera, and I know that came under the previous person that he got ushered in under, who I believe he passed away in office. Again, I'm not as knowledgeable in Ghana political history as I think I should have. I might have dropped the ball initially learning about Ghana political history. I could have taken 6 months to do it. Will I do it now? Who knows? But what about the diaspora now? Did we actually? Nobody's going to tell you this. Even recently, excuse me, y'all. Even just within the last week, they made visa requirements easier. You know why they made visa requirements easier? Because the dollar is dropping. And somebody said pushback and said visas in 5 days has always been the standard. I don't agree with that. But yeah, you have to find a way to alleviate, because the American dollar is dropping. Americans can't come here and ball out. This trick culture, these Americans who come out here tricking, that's going to end a little bit more now too. Because when $8 was 15 to 1, now it's 11 to 1. When it go 5 to 1, you know how you answer that? You make more money. That's always the answer. Don't cry. Make more money. Let's go to like I told y'all before, when something is going down, what's coming up? Pause. Oh, hold on, y'all. We're gonna go into Bitcoin to dollars. I ain't know if, hold on, y'all. I don't know why. Hopefully that didn't come up on the screen. Okay. Hold on. I'm trying to get to my YouTube analytics. That's what I was talking about, y'all. My YouTube analytics came up on the screen. Hold on. I didn't mean to close off that box. Now I gotta open a new one. So just give me a second to do that one, Y'all can still see me up in the upper corner. Bitcoin to dollar. Bitcoin's been dropping a little bit the last day. How do I reverse it? Dollar to Bitcoin. Bitcoin to USD. All right, let me just get this. Let me switch y'all over here real fast. I definitely made a mistake on that one. I don't remember how I clicked that off. Yeah, but I want to, hold on, yeah, I'm talking to myself. Let me close these links. I was doing some studying also before I came online. I should have been coming online all week. Cancel. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to open the screen back up. All right, here it is. Sorry about that. Yeah. I'm getting it together, y'all. I'm getting it together. Can y'all hear the music in the background? Is the music on? How does the music sound? So like I said, this one is 1 day. Let me get back to the chart. Let's do 1 month. So in that same month, when the Ghana CD, you saw how the Ghana CD had that large loop? Okay, you can see my arrow. Okay, when that Ghana CD had my cursor, that Ghana CD had that huge drop. Let me see if I can put both up. Hold on. Why did that drop off again? Window capture 2. All right. So, okay, that one is back up. Okay, good. And I want to open up a new one. I want to open up a new one to show y'all side by side. This is why I have to keep coming live more consistently. This is why I have to keep coming live more consistently. So I can learn how to do all this stuff fast. Let's go back to dollar and CD. Oh, y'all can see, I didn't mean for y'all to see how I did that. But now I want to get them side by side. See. Now I want to get them side by side. Dollar to CD. This is dollar to CD. Fine. But where's, I want to get Bitcoin. Hmm. No, I want to keep the Bitcoin one up. Are you following me? Are you kind of getting what I'm trying to do? I want to get the two side by side, but I think it's going to make me open up another box. New window. Let me open up a new window. All right. Bitcoin to USD. All right. Let's make this 1 month. All right. So this is Bitcoin to USD. And then next, I want to see if I can. I'm trying to see if I could get them side by side. Okay, it was covering the other one. All right, so let's see if I can get the other one too. And let's get this one to do CD to dollar to CD. All right, and this one is dollar to CD. You watching me work in real time. This is what I be doing when I'm alone, but I be doing it like in other places. On other engines, and then when y'all come out, hey, but it keep, all right, it's giving me trouble. Maybe I could do display capture. Wait, I just got it. Okay, I just got it. I be worried about y'all. That's what the problem be. Like I'll sit for hours myself and do it. I be worrying about what y'all be thinking. All right. Oh, okay. I don't know. My battery died. Hold on. Don't worry. I told y'all this what happened, but let me see if I can finish doing this first. But I want y'all to look at the. Let me put the battery in so I can get back on the screen. But while I'm putting the battery back in and I haven't started. While I yeah, sure, you can help me with your my subs, with my lives. I'm very welcome. I'm very open to the whatchamacallit. When I use the camera, I only get like 40 minutes of battery life. But when we start going like live long, and you know I like going live like an hour or two. I like going live like an hour or two. I think sometimes I would even go live for 3 hours. All right. So I had to change the battery. So that's where we are right now. Yeah, Joshua, how can you help me with the lives? All right, so that's that. All right, so hopefully in the future I'll figure out how to do this better. Let's really break this down right. Really do this right. Because we have to see. Let's look at them side by side. Hey, I got it right. Hey. All right. Don't be a perfectionist. It's okay to be a perfectionist. I'm a perfectionist. So this is where we see what's happening with the American dollar. But what I want you all to understand is my stream is already monetized. Who's coming? I applied to something, and then everybody want to send me whatchamacallit. Anytime something, the American dollar is devaluing. A lot of diasporans are panicking over the value of their dollar while Ghanaians are celebrating the appreciation of the Ghana CD. What we have to understand is what goes up must come down, but also if the American dollar is dropping, what's rising? That's what's important to understand. If the American dollar is dropping, what's rising? And like I said before, in this case, it's Bitcoin. Bitcoin is what's rising. What else is rising? What's rising that you don't know about? Do you have enough income coming in to even figure that out? Yeah, I do have Streamlabs. I don't know why. I use Streamlabs. I just don't think anybody hit the super chat yet. Like I even have some on the right streams. Yeah, I have Streamlabs. I have Streamlabs already. Yeah. The thing with Streamlabs and the thing with YouTube takes a percentage out of all donations, and then you don't even get, like, if somebody were to donate to me today, that wouldn't even get to me until June 21st. What's the link to what? And thank you for your participation, and thank you for showing love. What is the link to what? Yeah, my donation link is crazy right now. Hold on. Oh, you don't see my you don't see the chat. Okay, I understand. So let me ask you, you don't see the super chat? I don't have super chat. I think I have super chat enabled. And then I've been sending people to Remitly. I've been asking people to email me so I can send them the Remitly link. That's what I've been asking people to do for now. Yeah, I've been asking people for now. I've been asking people to email me because I was letting people send me Cash App, but Cash App has been giving me an issue. You need to pin the donation link for the stream links. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, I have to learn how to do that. Let me see. Can I learn that in real time? That is a lot of work doing all that over email. Streamlabs is instant. If you have a link, I can donate while you're alive. Yeah. Let me see. How do I? Let me find out. Let me see. How do I find out my Streamlab link? I'm not ready to do that. I'm ready to do. I was talking about something else. Hold on. I'll do it through my phone. Thank you for this great advice. I really appreciate you. Let me. How do I pronounce your name correctly? Let me get back to it so I can see it. Jazu. Oh yeah, really, right? How do I don't even know how to do the moderations and stuff like that. That's right. Streamlab has the what is it called? Is it called the tip function? Jozu. Okay, Jozu. Yeah. Okay. ChatGPT is saying, yeah, ChatGPT is saying that I should just people can see the super chat links on the bottom of the screen. It's good having some on-time help. Yeah. I have some people who've been trying to scam me, so I'm a little nervous about making people moderators randomly. So please forgive my hesitation. It's nothing personal. I was working with the person who did this overlay. Ever since this person did this overlay, he be sending me he been like weird, I've been getting like random too many spam stuff. He opened up I guess he sold my email address. It's kind of weird. Jozu. Okay, Jozu. Where are you from? Please. Let me see what my chat look like from the outside. My live stream looking like from the outside. This is when I should have been whatchamacallit. Yeah, I'm trying to learn this stuff. It's, they said if you can go YouTube full-time for a year, that's how long it would take to be successful. And that's what I'm trying to do. And I'm in month 5, going into month 6. Let me see what it looked like from the outside. No, I don't see the super chat links at all. You're 100% right. I wonder why am I not getting I'm from the UK but live in Ghana. Nice. Where in Ghana are you? Yeah, I'm in Elmina. Hey, thank you to everybody who been hitting like on the I didn't know this many people was hitting like. Considering how many people came into the lives, a lot of people have hit liked. 33% of the people have hit liked. So that's dope. So I wonder why my super chat links aren't coming up. That's interesting. I probably could have been getting more super chats. Let me see if my monetization is on. Well, I don't want that showing up on a page. My page is all right, but hold on. My page, my tabs don't look that bad. Thank you for this time and inspiration. I do want to go back to whatchamacallit, but I am happy that that's not. Let me do this right for the people. If anybody has any questions, you got one in Ghana stream. So how did you get that? Okay. Okay, now it's not showing. So let me go into my I don't know why my monetization, I swore my monetization was on. No, my monetization is on. Oh, visibility is on members only? No. All right, hold on. See? No, my monetization is on. My monetization is on. I don't know why it's not showing my super chats. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. I'm gonna have to figure that out. You sent me a message on Instagram. All right. You know, Instagram deleted my I used to have 55,000 followers. Instagram deleted my thing. So let me just ask you one more time. You don't see the super chat icon. Yeah, I don't know what that problem is. I don't know what that is. Do you have a Discord on how you best to contact with? All my contact information is in the description. Yeah. I don't see it either. I always thought the super chat icon was up. I have to figure out why the super chat icon is not up there. Because somebody was in here earlier asking me. Shout outs to Anton. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. That's a problem. That's a problem I have to fix. I have to find out. Maybe that's a reason because I have Top Chat fan funding. Because even now it's telling me that I have, you know, something fan funding. Should I have had that on the whole time? If anybody have any topics they want me to cover, this is the time to ask me. I'm just getting assistance from Jozu about how to set my super chats up. But usually they used to come up automatically. I just thought nobody was sending super chats. This is the first time I can honestly say like, oh, maybe nobody was sending super chats because they just wasn't up the whole time. So this is the first time that I can actually say that. This is the first time I can actually say that. Yeah, I don't know why these things are not up. That's 100% right. They will deprioritize me. So what I'll do is I'll contact YouTube customer service when I'm done, and I'll try to find out like why my community moderation, participant timestamps, reactions, send feedback. Because the monetization is on. I don't know why they don't have me. Maybe it's this. Let me try one last thing. Hold on. Sorry about that. I didn't even mean to turn all those off like that. Let me try one last thing. I don't know if they've been off the past lives too. This is the first time that I'm learning that. I'm doing a session on finances. And that's all I've been doing is back work. So when I get into the right groove, when I get into the right momentum, my lives would be, you know, everything is set up correctly. No, I thought maybe I had my VPN on. My VPN isn't on. Yeah, I don't know what that problem is. I have to figure out, because even now I'm reading something that says super and highlighted membership messages show up here. If you change filters, this filter will only show your last 100 fan funded messages. This is showing me that I have super chats, but it's not showing me, I don't even know if this would change it. And I don't want to start a goal just to see. All right, I put up a goal, but look, people can't even donate. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. I'm gonna have to contact YouTube and ask them why. If anybody have any questions or topics they want me to discuss. No, but that's what's up, Jozu. I appreciate that help. That's big. That's actually very important. That's actually very important. How did you get so many people on your live? Because you was saying that, and I definitely believe you. I definitely believe you. Yeah, the topic I want you to cover is Bitcoin. I want to invest into something. You need to go to YouTube Studio. Yeah, I was just in YouTube. My monetization is on. Let me try going to YouTube Studio one last time, and then we can go into Bitcoin. Or let's see what I can talk about while I go into YouTube Studio. Hold on. Let me bring this over here. I'll bring this over here, and then I'll go into YouTube Studio so I can see. So what I've been trying to help people understand, especially diasporans, you know, you're from the UK, you're living in Ghana, is that even though the dollar is dropping, the first answer to everything is make more money. That's always the first answer. You make more money, it doesn't matter. Okay, supers, gifts, supers. I don't know why these supers they all turned on. Everything is turned on. Why isn't it showing on my page? I'm looking at supers and gifts. Everything is turned on. Honest. If you continue, your fans will no longer see gifts as purchase options. Yeah. It's supposed to be up there. I don't know why it's not. I don't know why it's not there. I don't know why it's not there. Everything is telling me that everything I have is turned on, but you're telling me your super chats and sticker activity. Somebody sent me somebody sent me $5 like 5 years ago. That's crazy. I remember that too. Blessings to her. Yeah. No, I don't know why. I don't know why. It's turned on. Everything is turned on. It's just not showing up on the page. It's turned on. It's just not showing up on the page. I don't even know what to do about that. Streamlabs, right? I'm using I got the alert set up with Streamlabs. So I'm familiar with Streamlabs. I even have like, I'm familiar with Streamlabs. I have a look. If somebody could send a super chat and they sent the super chat, a Streamlab will come up. So I am familiar with Streamlab. I'll see how to set up monetization with Streamlabs. Now, are you telling me I should use Streamlabs over OBS Studio? That's a good question also. Because maybe the issue I'm having is so I made a joke to myself. Yeah. Maybe the issue I'm having is that I'm going through OBS Studios and OBS Studios is not allowing me to whatchamacallit. I'm a believer in Bitcoin. I'm a believer in Bitcoin. I do really feel like yeah, I was reading something that was saying that Streamlab is better than OBS. But they were saying that OBS is good. And OBS is the one that I've been using. But going over to Streamlabs, that's definitely an option I'm gonna seriously look into. Because I was just reading about that last week or earlier this week. If today's Friday, it's today's Saturday, I was reading about it earlier this week. You're not giving me bad advice. You definitely give me advice that I already looked into. See, but I wonder why my that's bad that my super chats aren't showing up at the bottom of the stream. That's a big problem. Because it's turned on everywhere. I just look, I've been running around in my studio on a different stream this whole time. Yeah, I'm tired of learning curves, but I'll deal with it anyway. I'll deal with it anyway. Yeah, and I'm also gonna call I'm also gonna contact YouTube when I get off this live stream and find out why. So So okay, so that's my job when all this is over. We'll go to all right. So again, like I was saying before, let me get the screen set up properly. When the dollar is going down, as you see how is the going down with the Ghana CD. Here on your right, you see the Ghana going down. I'm in Elmina. I'm in the central region. On the right, you see how the dollar is going down. I'm pretty sure you said you're from the UK. Maybe I could switch that to pounds. The sterling, 1 pound. Sterlings. I don't even know how to count pounds. I need to. I want to make some pounds. That's going down, which actually shows strength to the dollar. That's strength to the CD. It's even more stark because the dollar is dropping almost everywhere. That's why you see Bitcoin going up. That's why you see Bitcoin going up during that same time, that same month that we talked about before. Here is April 29th. Let's go back to the dollar for this one. Because you see that it's more stark with the dollar. It's the same thing. Which shows something in Ghanaian policy is going correct. But you see this first big drop. Look at Tuesday the 9th. The 29th. Tuesday, April 29th. We're on the right side. We're on the right side over here where I'm shaking. Tuesday, it was 15.25. And then the next day, it just dropped to 14. It went $1.15. One CD, 15 pesos in one day. And it adds up, and it adds up, and it adds up. Now look to the left. Hold on, let me bring this one. I want to bring Bitcoin over. I'm gonna get more proficient at this, y'all. You see the Bitcoin is going up. Where was it on April 29th? It lagged a little bit. The CD, is this a trend? Can we start looking at the CD before? Does it mean that since the CD dropped crazy again today, the CD will probably be at 10 sometime this week? Not 10, it might touch 9 by the end of the week. Does that mean Bitcoin is going to shoot up? That's something to watch. If you can find a pattern or a hack anywhere, if you can watch the Ghana CD and the Ghana CD can predict before the Bitcoin, I don't know. But this is something to watch over the next few weeks and maybe even months. Maybe you can make a good trade or reposition yourself. You never know. Or throw some extra money in just before a jump. Because this dip, let me go back. I'll be going back and forth between the two charts. Remember, this dip started 29th April. That dip started 29th April. Hold on, I want to leave it at 29th April. Stay at 29th April, bro. All right. The Bitcoin rally didn't start until 6 May. That's a whole week. No, it's not too late to get into Bitcoin. No, it's not too late to get into Bitcoin. It's not Bitcoin founders, it's not that early. I'm trying to keep, I don't want to just go into my emails and stuff on live, but hold on. Let me see if I can find you a picture real quick. I was just reading this today. I'm looking for something specifically for you in my email right now that I was reading earlier today. I was probably reading this like 3-4 hours ago, 5 hours ago. And then once I read it, I have to find a way to pull it out. Oh, hold on. I'm finding something for you. You just asked me a question. I have the perfect answer for you. So wait around so you can get it. It might take me 2 minutes to screenshot it and send it to myself so I can send it to you. And it's a direct question about, is it too late to get into Bitcoin? All right, this is what, all right, I got it. I screenshotted it. I want to send it to myself. Once I send it to myself, hold on, I'm looking to send it to myself now. Once I send it to myself, I'll download it and I'll put it on my screen. Hold on, I'm getting a video, I'm getting a picture for you that you're gonna need. And then you can screenshot it off my page. All right, I emailed it to myself. I think I'm getting this pretty fast. I'm almost done. I'll probably be done in the next. I have this picture for you on the screen in the next, you know, the next minute or two. And as soon as I get this picture up for you, I was just reading this like 3-4 hours ago. Since I'm streaming, my internet is running a little slower, so I can't just be like going into my email like this. Now I'm downloading the all right, so that's it. All right, so I'm about to get it to you now. I'll probably have it to you in about 30 seconds. Let me add the image. Open the image. Download. Here it is. Wow. Wow. Here's the This is the Bitcoin. I was reading this about 3-4 hours a day, 3-4 hours ago. So you asked me if it was too late to is it too late to get into Bitcoin? And the answer is no. Right. Do you think it's too late to get into Bitcoin now? I have multiple businesses and I make around 10K a month. Blessings to you. Can you teach me? Can you send me some Momo? Can you send me some Momo? I'll give you my Momo number. Can you teach me how I added you on LinkedIn? So this is what I was reading earlier. Bitcoin enters growth phase of S curve. So if you look from the bottom left, the early adopters, those are people who got in when it was like $300, $100. Early majority, you see, that's what it said. This is where we are now. That's what it say. This is what we are now. This is where we are now. You are here. And that gave me more hope. Because I ain't gonna lie, I started messing with Bitcoin when it was 10K during the pandemic, and I took it out. If you're in Ghana, that's why I gave you the number like that. I wish I would have stuck in it while it was I wish I would have stuck in it while it was in 10K. Now it's 100K. I did something back in 2023, 2024, 2023, 2022, 2023, when it was 40K. That one was a little different because it would have took 2 years for that to come, and it dropped. And I was looking at it when it was 27 in 2024. Now, this is the time where I said, you know what? I'm going to stick with it because I do believe that it's going to be 1 million by 2030. And when they talk about the early majority, that's 100K. Then it says late majority, laggards. I firmly believe that, you know, whether you decide to do it aggressively or passively, it's a long-term gain. It's not like day trading on the stocks. It's the long-term gain. It's something that you got to look in 5, 10 years, you know, 20 years from now. It's something that you might want to pass on and teach them not to, you know, generational wealth. Now, am I making enough at this very moment? No, but it's like, just get your skin in the game. Just get your feet in the game. For money that you know that you don't want to touch. Do it for money that you want to touch. And if every once in a while you get a big check, you want to say, you know what? I've hustled hard. Let me put this away for the future. Just sit it in there. Just sit it in there and just leave it. Act like you never got it. Now, this isn't financial advice. I'm gonna be putting quotation marks up. Yeah. So you are here. We are there. Now, how long would that be there? How long would that be there? You know, these things, it just takes, that's why for me, I have monthly deposits into my Bitcoin. I think, so what have I been doing with my life? I don't even know. I've been living it. I've been living it. I have a pretty great life. I have stories. Yeah. Okay, really great. Thank you so much. The money, the line that I'm using, the Momo, the line that you sent the Momo to is also in my router. So that pin is in my router right now. So thank you so much, Madasi Pa, Name Shro. Yeah. I feel like Ghana chose me. Why Ghana? I feel like Ghana chose me. Yes, I'm planning on staying, but no at the same time. I've been living in Ghana 5 years. I've been living in Ghana 5 years now. And since I've gotten dual citizenship, I was one of the 524 diasporans who got citizenship in November 2024. And since I wrote my book on dual citizenship during the research phase, I can't check because the SIM card that you sent the Momo for is the SIM that I'm using for the MTN router right now. So make sure, you said you added me on LinkedIn. Make sure you email me also, and then I'll definitely be able to take a look at it and I'll be able to thank you properly. I'm just giving you Madase Pa. Hey, congratulations. If you want to check out my book, How to Get Dual Citizenship in Ghana, obviously you already have your citizenship, but the first chapter is understanding what dual citizenship is. That's a powerful chapter. 2 is how to acquire it, so you don't have to read about chapter 2. 3 chapter 3 is all the documentation that I suggest that you get after your dual citizenship, including your Ghana card updated, your passport, your SNCC card, depending on how old you are. That SNCC is Social Security, your NHIS card, and there's other items that I have in there also. And then the rest of it is about just learning how to leave your legacy, because those are the next classes, and that's the next theme. That's the next theme that I'm going with in my life. I'm teaching how to legacy build. I'll be teaching how to legacy build, because that's where I'm going on in my life. I just posted my email. Can you see it? I just pinned my email. Can you see it? Do you see my pinned message? If you don't see my pinned message, I'll write it again for you. Because now we have to start legacy building. We have to start legacy building. And legacy building isn't always physical structures. That's one of the goals. Sometimes people do things first, which could be left for last. Okay, great. I'll check the email. Yeah. Okay, I haven't seen the email yet. I haven't seen the email yet. But when it comes through, I'll let you know. Have you sent the email yet? I have okay. When I was talking about the numbers, I was talking about the chapters in the book, How to Get Dual Citizenship in Ghana. The final chapter is on legacy building, and that's what I want to go into long term. I want to create structures and courses on legacy building. I noticed that when I have a focus on my life, that I should even give it to people in real time also as we build together. You know, I don't want to be at 80 years old, 90 years old talking about let me show you how I built my legacy, my life, my whole life. Okay, it just came there. All right, great. I got your email. Hi there to you too. Blessings to you. Blessings to you. Because when it comes to legacy building, what we really have to do is ask ourselves the right questions. You said you just got your dual citizenship last month. I got my dual citizenship in November. And when I really started doing even more research on it, and you asked me if I was going to stay in Ghana, dual citizenship isn't technically... Yeah, definitely. I'm a pretty tough guy, but I understand what you're saying too. With dual citizenship, it's not called citizenship. It's called dual citizenship. And I think many people leave, especially the ones who are already in Ghana. Americans don't realize that dual citizens, we tend to think it's either one place or another. And that's been one of my things. It's always yes or no, this or that, you know. I think the people who embrace dual citizenship the most, and I know it costs money, but are the people who are able to locate themselves in different parts of the world. Or different parts, who are able to do both, who are able to manage their American life and their Ghana life. Their American life, their UK life for you, your UK life, and your African life. Not I'm in Ghana, I'm staying in Ghana, I'm never leaving Ghana. When I first started saying those things, I thought I was revolutionary. I thought I was making a confirmed stance. I didn't know at that time that I was still thinking limited. Now I'm more like, I miss my mom, I miss my family, so I will be going home very soon. Sooner than people think. But that doesn't mean that if I go back home and I go home for 3 months, 6 months, a year, he left Ghana. That's the narrative that people are going to say on the ground. If I went home for 6 months, if I went home for a year, they're going to say, oh, he left. No, I went home. I have an apartment in Harlem, New York that I haven't seen in 3 years. I left America. What I need to start doing is start traveling it. I came here and then literally I got stuck here. Here's my first book, Stuck in Africa. I use it as my mouse now. I use it as my navigator now. But no, I don't have children here. I've been precious over my seeds. I don't know if finding true love here is even possible anymore. I think even with foreigners and tourism and stuff, all that stuff like that, you find too many gold diggers and too many, you know, yes, it's women nature to want to protect her and provide her. Yeah. I've done well. I think, you know, there's always ways to get around the system, but not in a legal way, but there's always, that's what dual citizen is about. You have to find a way to leverage being from the UK. If you were from the UK and you living in Ghana, you have access to British pounds. That's more powerful than American dollar. We was just checking that out. We was just checking that one out. Oh, hold on. We was just checking that out a few minutes ago. You have access to British pounds. £1 sterling equals 14.91 Ghanaian cedis. One American dollar. That's 3 more cedis per dollar when you're connected to the British pound. You know how powerful that is? And thank you for the Momo. I won't be able to see how much it is because again, I have an MTN router. I don't want to mess up my internet. You can't see it. I have an MTN router. You can see my studio a little bit. I want to show you my router. I have an MTN router. The SIM card is in the MTN router. You get to see my flashlights. You get to see my ring lights. I have a real studio, y'all. I built this to a real studio. So I won't be able to see that clearly, and I won't be able to see that until we get off, and then I'll be able to check online. So you're suggesting that I upgrade from Streamlab, from OBS to Streamlab. OBS has been so good to me. Yeah, the rate of return is slow. Sorry about that. Sometimes I feel properties like what? Sometimes I feel like Ghana might run the jeopardy of turning into Jamaica, Cuba, DR, these places where they start packaging things for like $20 a night because it gets so saturated. Yeah, and all my subs come from my shorts. I have 16K subs, but they come from shorts. They come from shorts. They come from YouTube shorts. So was I able to help you with Bitcoin more? Okay, I'm gonna send this to you. I'll send this to you. Hold on. I'm gonna send you that chart. You've been very helpful. You've been very supportive. I even got a Christmas gift when I go off the live stream. Hold on. So I'm in the I'm about to send you this chart, the Bitcoin S curve. I'm gonna send that to you in a minute. And you're getting your email, and then you can have that to look at. Thanks for your advice and support. And yes, usually when I send emails, attaches to Bitcoin. All right. All right. So I just sent that to you, Jozu. Okay, good. How to buy Bitcoin? You can download something like Coinbase. You could use Coinbase. I think Coinbase is a good one. Coinbase. Coinbase. I'm going to start using Coinbase when I get back to the States. I'm going to transfer the Bitcoin I have into Coinbase. Because I think over the next I'm not going to say in 5 years, over the next 5 years, I think Bitcoin is going to go to 1 million. In 5 years is, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you? Because earlier, I don't know if you was around earlier, I was sharing that. I feel like anybody born in the 70s, 80s will definitely see 90. You know, everybody has their own story, their own journey, their own health, their own health. But the way that we're starting to see 80-year-olds more often, by time we're in our golden years, we're going to be sitting at 90, 100. You're 29. You're going to see 100. You're going to see 100. By the time you're 70, 80, by the time you're 60, you're going to be seeing so many more 80, 90-year-olds. You're going to be like, oh, wow. By the time you're 60, 70, 80, you're going to know you're going to see 90, 100. I'm 45. I'm going to see 90. I know I'm going to see 90, God willing. It's in the hands of God. It's not the days where life expectancy was in their 60s, in their 70s. You see somebody in their 70s, they're old. You see somebody in their 80s, that's like they're 80. Whoa. You know what I mean? Now 80s is for me growing up. When I was 12, 13, 14, 15, 80 was old. Oh, 80 was you happy to be alive. 90 was grace by God. 70 was, oh, you don't have much time left. You got maybe like another 10, 15 years left. I have a tourism company. Now I'm doing YouTube. I'm an author, content creator. I'm going full time. On these things. Yeah. You see the S-curve. I put the S-curve still up there. This is where we are. The early majority. We're headed to the late majority. I think the late majority will probably come around, 2020, 2027, 2028, 2029, 2028, 2029. I think that's when we're really being a late majority. The laggards is, by that time, Bitcoin is 5 million. But you should be giving me more business advice. You already started with the Streamlabs. So that's good. You already started with the Streamlabs giving me advice. You said you make 10K a year. I mean, 10K a month. You said you make 10K a month. I was making 10K a month before I moved to Ghana. But then I got here and kind of got more, I got back to my innerness. I started focusing on, my spiritual aspect, my emotional aspect. What they're saying is that they said that Bitcoin, that's why they say it's in the early majority. Because Bitcoin is at 100K, but what about in 2029, 2030, when Bitcoin is at 1 million? So that's why I say it's the early majority. It's at 100K now. But what about when it's at 1 million? If now when it's at 100K, yeah, just earlier this year it was at 40K. Somebody was out there saying to the somebody was, when it was at 40K about 3 months ago, when it was at 40K in September, October, right before the Trump election, which made it spike. Somebody was saying, oh, it's at 40K. That's a lot. What if they would have found a way to put 1,000 and that 1,000 would have been 2,200? No, you buy them in, oh, you're really green on Bitcoin. No, you could buy them in fragments. You could buy $1 worth of Bitcoin. You don't have to buy one for 100K. You could buy $1 worth of Bitcoin. You could buy $1, $10, 500, 1,000. The thing is, what they say is when you put it in, don't put it in to take it back out. Some people do trade it, but you're not, it's supposed to be like, you put your money there and you leave it. You put it in there and you leave it like, and act like you never had it. And then watch it bubble over months and years. You watch it bubble over months and years. in decades, in lifetimes, in generations. I think they said something like 80 to 90% of your Bitcoin, you're never supposed to sell when you're talking about generational wealth. And the example that the person was given was when he was buying Bitcoin originally at $300, he gave away so much Bitcoin as Christmas gifts, as presents, as something cute, fun. If he actually kept all that Bitcoin for himself that he was giving away for fun, he would have been a millionaire. He would have been super wealthy by now. So it wasn't really about, what's the word he used? He was saying like, oh, not yet, not yet. And again, keeping it in terms of Ghana, you know, when the American dollar is going down, when the CD is rising, and your British sterlings aren't as high, aren't as wealthy, my American dollars that are strong. What other areas can I be putting some money into so that it's not that my money is depreciating, that my money is losing value? What can I put money in that, or invest my finance where my money rises? Again, the answer is always make more money. The person was saying like, I remember now, the person was saying like, who brought Bitcoin at 1,000 and then sold at 10,000? And it was like, oh, I made $10,000. They brought Bitcoin for 1,000 and then they sold it at 10,000 and was happy. They only watched it to go to 30, 40, 50, and now 100K. So what if you start investing in now and you found a way to get 10,000 in Bitcoin over the next couple of years, and then when Bitcoin hit 300,000, you sell, and then on that 10,000, you wind up making an extra 20,000. But then 2 years after that, it bubbles to 1 million, and then you think about the 70K that you lost if you just left it there. You know, even $50, $100, that tiny risk will change your mindset. You know, you start seeing Bitcoin a little differently. So it's like, figure out how much that you just won't sell. Like, it got to be something that you put together for your kids, your grandkids, your great-grandkids. And then some you might just sell when the time is right. Not to say that money's going to be gone forever. Some you're going to trade in. Imagine you got 5,000 in there, and then one day, you know, that 5,000 is worth 5 million. You know, that probably would mean Bitcoin is worth, you know, 1 billion, but you never know. You never know, man. These economies, that's a world currency. Excuse me. You know it's 1 a.m. here. Yeah, we both know it's 1 a.m. here, so we up here late. Oh, I started a long time ago, but you're never supposed to tell anybody how much Bitcoin you have, because people will rob you. You get robbed over that. It's like telling somebody how much money you have in your wallet. Not how much you have in the bank. That's how that's how celebrities get robbed. They be talking about how much money they have and how much they show. I mean, didn't North Korea do a Bitcoin cyber attack recently? North Korea did want a Bitcoin cyber attack. They said that was about a year ago. Excuse me. I'm getting tired. I might have to get off this live soon. I'm surprised I'm sleepy at 1 a.m. I'm definitely surprised I'm sleepy at 1 a.m. But I do promise to go live tomorrow. I want to see if I can go live, you know, most days this week. Let's see if I can go live 5 out of 7 days. Let's see if I can go live 5 out of 7 days. That number I gave you is not on WhatsApp. That number I gave you is not on WhatsApp. My WhatsApp number is in the email. That's my WhatsApp number. And I'll respond because you're a donor. Oh, I'll let you know. We can discuss it. People are surprised to see how antisocial I am, but I'm going to try to be social. I made up my mind in the last few weeks that I'm going to try to get social again. I'm ready to be social again. Yeah. All right. Does anybody else have any questions? I think I'm going to end this live right now. Zozu, thank you for your help. I'll definitely look into Streamlabs. I'm going to I'm going to see if I can get through the YouTube customer service now just to ask them why my super chat options wasn't popping up. Because people wanted to, for the first time, you know, people was asking how to send me a super chat, and it's the first time I ever realized that it wasn't there, and I've been wondering, I must wonder how long it hasn't been there. All right, blessings to you. I'm gonna call it a night. Maybe I'll come back on tonight. I doubt it, but I'll definitely come back on tomorrow. So anytime you see me online, you know, check me out, and I'll be sure to follow your page too. I'll be sure. Let me see if I can do that now. Let me see if they'll let me follow your page now. Whew. Yeah, man, you got the joint. Congratulations to you, King. Yeah. All right, so I just subscribed to your channel.